In the bustling heart of a world that often overlooked its quiet champions, the essential workers moved like clockwork, their efforts weaving the fabric of everyday life. Hospitals hummed with the steady rhythm of nurses tending to the sick, classrooms buzzed with the voices of teachers shaping young minds, and delivery trucks rumbled through cities, carrying lifelines to countless doorsteps. Yet, amidst this ceaseless motion, their sacrifices faded into the background, uncelebrated but indispensable. Bill Gates, a man of vision and purpose, watched from afar, deeply moved by their perseverance. His mind, ever restless with ideas, began to craft a plan, a gesture not of fleeting gratitude but of enduring impact. It would be bold, transformative, and rooted in the belief that those who held the world together deserved to thrive, not just survive. The first step of his mission brought him to a hospital at dawn, where the air was thick with exhaustion and hope. Nurses paused mid-shift, their weary faces lighting up as Gates unveiled a wellness initiative tailored to ease their burdens. The promise of better tools and care for caregivers rippled through the staff, igniting a sense of renewal. From there, his journey unfolded like a tapestry, each thread connecting to a new group of unsung heroes. Teachers found their classrooms transformed with cutting-edge technology and scholarships for their students. Delivery drivers, often invisible in their relentless pace, gathered in community halls, their laughter mingling with tears as they received bonuses and health benefits. Each encounter was a spark, illuminating lives long shrouded in quiet resilience. As news of his actions spread, whispers of change stirred in communities far and wide. Gates' mission was more than an act of kindness, it was a call to reimagine how society valued its foundation. For the essential workers, the recognition was a lifeline, a reminder that their quiet heroism was not only seen but cherished. The world was a bustling tapestry of interconnected lives, set against the backdrop of towering cities, rural expanses, and tight-knit communities. It was a place where the hum of delivery trucks, the chatter of classrooms, and the steady rhythm of hospital monitors formed the heartbeat of society. Yet, beneath this surface, the essential workers, unsung heroes, faced grueling days, their contributions often overshadowed by the noise of a fast-moving world. Bill Gates, a man of quiet determination and boundless curiosity, had spent decades shaping technology and philanthropy. His childhood fascination with problem-solving evolved into a mission to address global challenges. Though distant from the daily struggles of essential workers, he felt a deep respect for their resilience. This admiration drove him to act, not out of obligation, but from a genuine desire to uplift those who kept the world afloat. Among the essential workers was Maria, a nurse who balanced 12-hour shifts with raising 2 children. Her unwavering compassion masked the exhaustion etched into her face. Then there was David, a delivery driver who navigated endless miles with a smile, his dreams of opening a small business set aside to support his family. Sarah, a veteran teacher, poured her heart into her students despite outdated resources, her passion for education never faltering. When Bill's initiative unfolded, it wasn't just about material gifts but about forging connections. He listened to Maria's stories of late-night emergencies, acknowledged David's sacrifices, and championed Sarah's vision for her school. These moments of recognition transformed their lives, not just through resources but by reigniting their sense of purpose. The ripple effects were profound. Maria's hospital introduced wellness programs, allowing her to spend more time with her children. David received funding to kickstart his business, while Sarah's school flourished with new tools and scholarships. Their lives intertwined with Bill's vision, creating a legacy of gratitude and hope that reshaped their communities. When Bill Gates unveiled his secret initiative, the world was stunned, not by his wealth, but by his precision in addressing overlooked struggles. Beyond mere gestures, he unearthed hidden truths. Hospitals lacked critical resources, teachers battled systemic neglect, and essential workers endured unseen hardships. His actions sparked global conversations, revealing cracks in society's foundation. Bill Gates, driven by a desire to honor essential workers, set a goal to uplift their lives through tangible, lasting contributions. Yet, his initial challenge was understanding the diverse needs of these unsung heroes. Collaborating with community leaders and organizations, he uncovered the struggles faced by nurses, teachers, and delivery drivers, from burnout to financial strain. As the initiative began, Gates formed a team to ensure each group received tailored support. Early efforts revealed logistical hurdles, such as coordinating resources and gaining trust from skeptical workers unaccustomed to recognition. However, his sincerity gradually broke barriers, fostering genuine connections. The first breakthroughs deepened relationships. Nurses, overwhelmed by new wellness programs, shared stories of resilience, while teachers, buoyed by improved resources, expressed renewed passion for their work. Delivery drivers, often overlooked, formed a tight-knit community after receiving educational opportunities, creating a ripple effect of gratitude. Subplots emerged as workers bonded over their shared experiences, inspiring others to step forward with their own acts of kindness. Gates' mission grew beyond recognition, evolving into a movement that redefined the value of everyday contributions, proving that even the smallest acts of acknowledgement could transform lives. The hum of an ordinary morning was shattered when a cryptic announcement swept through the media. Bill Gates had initiated a global initiative to honor essential workers. Details were scarce, but whispers of life-changing acts of generosity sparked both curiosity and skepticism. For many, it felt like a dream too good to be true. Could someone truly disrupt the world's routine to celebrate those who often went unnoticed? The first shock came when a struggling hospital received an anonymous delivery of cutting-edge medical equipment and a year's worth of funding for staff wellness programs. Nurses, exhausted from endless shifts, found themselves at the center of an unexpected whirlwind of gratitude. The news spread like wildfire, igniting hope and disbelief in equal measure. However, not everything unfolded smoothly. In a small town, a planned event for grocery store workers was nearly derailed by logistical chaos. A shipment of supplies was delayed, threatening to undermine the celebration. Determined not to let the workers down, Bill himself stepped in, rallying local volunteers to salvage the day. The workers, touched by the personal effort, felt seen for the first time in years. As these events unfolded, a ripple effect emerged. Communities began organizing their own tributes, inspired by Bill's initiative. Yet, the question lingered, was this a fleeting moment of recognition, or the start of a deeper cultural shift? For the essential workers, the answer lay not in the grand gestures but in the newfound unity and respect they felt, a spark of change that could redefine their future. As Bill Gates' initiative gained momentum, a ripple effect began to unfold. Among those inspired was Elena, a single mother and grocery store clerk who had long dreamed of becoming a nurse. When she received one of the scholarships funded by Gates, her life took an unexpected turn. With newfound hope, she enrolled in nursing school, determined to pay forward the kindness she'd experienced. Meanwhile, in a small town, a young teacher named Marcus discovered that the new technology provided to his school allowed him to reach students in innovative ways. One of his pupils, Maya, a shy but brilliant girl, began excelling in STEM subjects, igniting dreams of becoming an engineer. As communities rallied around these acts of generosity, challenges emerged. Some questioned whether such grand gestures could sustain long-term change. In response, Gates quietly collaborated with local leaders to establish programs that prioritized community-driven solutions, ensuring that the impact would endure beyond his involvement. At the same time, a delivery driver named Sam, who had once felt invisible, found himself at the center of a growing movement. Inspired by Gates' recognition, he organized a union to advocate for better working conditions, galvanizing his peers and fostering a sense of empowerment among workers. In the midst of these transformations, a subtle tension arose. Not everyone welcomed the spotlight on essential workers, with some industries resisting change. This resistance hinted at deeper systemic issues, setting the stage for future challenges. Yet, despite the obstacles, the seeds of hope and solidarity continued to grow, reshaping lives and communities in profound ways. The initial wave of gratitude sparked a ripple effect, but not without complications. While many essential workers embraced the recognition, others wrestled with feelings of imposter syndrome, questioning whether their contributions truly warranted such attention. This internal conflict deepened as some communities began to debate the fairness of the distribution of resources, sowing tension among groups that had previously stood united. Meanwhile, Bill Gates faced mounting pressure from critics who accused him of selectively addressing issues while overlooking systemic inequalities. His philanthropic team scrambled to balance immediate gratitude with long-term solutions, but the clock was ticking, and expectations were soaring. The stakes grew higher as rival philanthropists entered the scene, each vying to outdo Gates' efforts, inadvertently turning goodwill into a competitive spectacle. Amid the escalating drama, a subplot emerged involving a young teacher named Elena, who had quietly been leading an underground tutoring program for underprivileged students. Gates' initiative inadvertently exposed her efforts, drawing both praise and scrutiny. While some hailed her as a hero, others questioned her methods, leading to a media frenzy that threatened to overshadow the broader mission. Simultaneously, a group of delivery drivers, emboldened by the newfound attention, began organizing for better working conditions. Their demands, though justified, created friction with their employers, sparking heated negotiations that rippled through the industry. Gates found himself caught in the crossfire, his initial gesture now a catalyst for deeper societal reckonings. As tensions mounted, the essential workers themselves began to fracture into factions, each with differing priorities and grievances. What had started as a unifying act of gratitude now teetered on the edge of chaos, forcing Gates to confront the unintended consequences of his actions. The question loomed, could he navigate the growing complexities and bring people together, or would his well-meaning efforts unravel the very fabric he sought to honor? As Bill Gates' mission unfolded, a pivotal moment arrived when he met Maria, a single mother and delivery driver who had been working tirelessly to support her family. Her story of perseverance struck a chord, leading Bill to personally mentor her, providing resources to help her pursue her dream of opening a small business. This marked a turning point, as his efforts transitioned from broad gestures to deeply personal connections, amplifying the impact of his actions. Meanwhile, a young teacher named Daniel experienced a profound transformation. Initially skeptical of the recognition, he began to see how the new resources revitalized his students' enthusiasm for learning. For the first time in years, he felt truly empowered, reigniting his passion for education and inspiring his colleagues to dream bigger. As word of Bill's initiative spread, communities began to rally together, creating their own ways to honor essential workers. A grassroots movement emerged, with people organizing local events and initiatives, proving that gratitude could ripple outward and spark collective change. This growing momentum set the stage for an even larger, climactic reveal. Behind the scenes, Bill's team worked tirelessly to organize a global summit, uniting essential workers from across industries to share their stories and collaborate on solutions for systemic challenges. The event promised not only recognition but also a platform to amplify their voices, ensuring their contributions would never again be overlooked. As the summit approached, the anticipation grew. Essential workers, once invisible to many, now stood at the forefront of a global conversation. The world watched, eager to see how this unprecedented effort would culminate, setting the stage for a transformative moment that could redefine society's values. The ripple effects of Bill Gates' mission began to unfold in unexpected ways. Among the essential workers, alliances formed as they realized the strength in their shared experiences. Nurses collaborated with teachers to create health education programs for students, while delivery drivers partnered with local farmers to ensure fresh produce reached underserved communities. These connections sparked a quiet revolution, driven by those who had once gone unnoticed. However, not everyone welcomed these changes. A powerful corporate entity, threatened by the shift in public focus toward essential workers, began to undermine their efforts. Secret meetings were held, and subtle moves were made to discredit the newfound unity. Whispers of betrayal surfaced, as an influential figure within the essential workers' circle appeared to align with the corporation, sowing seeds of doubt among their ranks. Amid the growing tension, Bill Gates introduced a bold initiative, a global platform where essential workers could share their stories and collaborate on solutions to systemic challenges. The platform quickly gained traction, amplifying their voices and exposing the obstacles they faced. This move, however, further escalated the conflict, as the corporation saw its influence waning. In the midst of these developments, a young teacher named Elena uncovered evidence of the corporation's sabotage. Torn between her dedication to her colleagues and the fear of retaliation, she confided in a trusted nurse, Marcus. Together, they devised a plan to expose the betrayal without jeopardizing the fragile unity among the workers. As the stage was set for a climactic confrontation, the essential workers found themselves at a crossroads. Their strength lay in their unity, but the looming threat of betrayal tested their resolve. Bill Gates, aware of the brewing storm, quietly prepared for the moment when the truth would come to light, determined to stand by the heroes he had sought to uplift. As Bill Gates' mission neared its conclusion, unforeseen challenges emerged. Skepticism began to surface among some communities, questioning the motives behind his grand gestures. Essential workers, though deeply moved, grappled with a mix of gratitude and disbelief, wondering if this recognition would truly last or fade into a fleeting moment. At the same time, logistical hurdles threatened to derail his plans. Coordinating resources for such a wide range of professions proved daunting, with delays and miscommunications testing the resolve of his team. Yet, Gates remained steadfast, determined to see his vision through, knowing the stakes were far greater than any obstacle. For the essential workers themselves, emotions ran high. Many struggled with feelings of imposter syndrome, hesitant to accept such profound gratitude after years of being overlooked. Others feared that this newfound spotlight might inadvertently shift focus away from systemic changes still desperately needed in their industries. As the final day of his initiative approached, Gates made one last pivotal decision. He invited representatives from each group, nurses, educators, drivers, and more, to a global summit, where their voices could shape future policies and investments. This step ensured their contributions weren't just celebrated but actively integrated into lasting change. The summit became a turning point. Essential workers, once invisible, now stood as empowered advocates for their communities. Gates' efforts had aligned the threads of recognition, systemic reform, and individual empowerment, creating a foundation for enduring impact. The world, watching closely, braced for the ripple effects of this transformative moment. As the final day of surprises unfolded, Bill Gates gathered representatives from every group of essential workers he had honored. In a heartfelt speech, he emphasized their collective impact, calling them the unsung architects of society. He announced the creation of a global foundation aimed at supporting essential workers with scholarships, mental health resources, and career advancement opportunities. The crowd erupted into applause, their struggles finally acknowledged on a grand scale. For many, this marked a turning point. Nurses found solace in wellness programs, teachers embraced new tools to inspire, and delivery drivers accessed education they had long dreamed of. Each group felt empowered, their futures brighter. Communities, inspired by Gates' actions, began organizing local initiatives to celebrate their own essential workers. From neighborhood fundraisers to corporate sponsorships, the ripple effect of gratitude spread far and wide, fostering a culture of appreciation and solidarity. This movement didn't just end with recognition, it sparked systemic change. Governments and organizations pledged to improve working conditions and wages for essential workers, ensuring their sacrifices would never again be overlooked. Now, it's your turn. Take a moment to thank the essential workers in your life. Whether through a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or advocating for policies that support them, every action matters. Together, we can continue this legacy of gratitude and make lasting change. The events that unfolded left a profound impact, not just on the essential workers, but on society as a whole. For the nurses, teachers, and countless others who had long labored in the shadows, Bill Gates' gesture was more than an act of gratitude, it was a validation of their worth and an affirmation of their indispensable role in the world. Communities, once fragmented, found unity in shared appreciation, and a ripple effect of kindness began to emerge. For Bill, the journey was transformative. His actions sparked a deeper understanding of the quiet strength within these unsung heroes, fueling his resolve to champion their causes on a global scale. Yet, the true legacy of his efforts lay in the countless lives he touched, workers who now faced the future with renewed hope and dignity. As the world reflected on this extraordinary act of generosity, a call to action echoed, honor those who sustain us. Whether through a simple thank you, advocacy for better working conditions, or community-driven initiatives, everyone could play a part in uplifting these everyday heroes. The story did not end with Bill's gesture, it was merely the beginning. The essential workers, empowered and inspired, continued their vital roles with unwavering dedication. And in their resilience, they reminded the world of a timeless truth: greatness often lies in the quiet, steadfast acts of service.